Good evening, everyone. Did you miss me? It's only been a week, but you are allowed to miss me. It's okay. It's me, so it's fine. Um, what's up, y'all? Y'all ready? Let's get into it. Welcome back to another week, another show, another episode of the B Mix, right here on BExposedRadio.com. Y'all already know what it is. We are in here, okay? You know what the B Mix is for. It's for everybody. Why? Because it's for me. And I'm pretty sure I can relate to just about anybody. Just saying, right? I don't know if I ever told y'all that, but y'all should have figured it out by now. I'm not gonna assume that y'all are slow learners. We're just gonna assume that y'all pick it up pretty quickly. Okay. Because this thing here called life, baby, it'll make you do that, right? So the B mix is full of what? The unseen, the unheard, the forgotten, everything in between, the forgotten part of you, or the person that just doesn't belong anywhere. Again, the me. So welcome y'all. Hey, it's Thursday at 8. Hey, all right. Y'all not hyped today. It's just fine. We can jump right into it. So this week, let's talk about a few things because I got stuff to say as usual. I'm we're gonna talk today. Per usual. Look at me flipping through notes, making sure I have everything for y'all. As something jumps in my eye, because I'm not about to not tell y'all what's going on with me. Like I'm trying to figure out if this looks like I have a little S curl right here, but that's my bad. That's my fault. So we're gonna figure that out. It'll be gone by next week. So y'all got some things y'all need to let go of. Is it just me? No? It's just me. It's fine. Y'all not talking to me today. I need to let go of some things. Truthfully, I've let go of some things. So that's what I'm here to talk about the benefit of y'all already know. I'm sharing the story, sharing the show. Sorry y'all. I was moving a little slow. Usually I can do that real slick without y'all saying, but my bad. So I need to let go of some things and have been working to let go of these things. Truthfully, let me think. No, let me go back. How Mom used to say, "Let me think." Okay, that's Jerome. Is that Jerome? It's one of them. Y'all know I'm quoting one all the time. Chat. I get them all mixed up at this point because I'm like all the characters in one. Um, okay, so let me start by saying my three vices. I say three. Okay, I've always only claimed three vices. Right, my three vices have always been no. Let me not say always because as a baby I was not doing these things. So let's just say my three vices have been. We'll get into times and ages later, I guess. Um, Vices. Hold on before y'all try to excuse yourselves. Y'all know how y'all posting talking about, oh, my toxic trait is. Y'all know how y'all made that a cute thing now? Yeah, that's under the vices category. Let's be clear about vices tonight, okay? Vices as in the thing that's holding you back. That you may or may not realize is holding you back. Okay. I don't know if y'all remember, but last week I touched on it. I said, y'all better be ready next week. We're going to get into it. I'm going to get deep. I'm going to get to telling y'all some stuff. And again, this is a non-judgmental space. Okay. Like non-judgmental. Yo, because when y'all hear non-judgmental, y'all just hear the judgment part. That's not what we're doing in here. We don't do that. Y'all know I am the least judgmental person in the Americas. Okay. So let's be clear. Okay. So I don't really anticipate y'all judging me. But if you do, guess what? That's on you and not me. Wasn't ready for that one now. Now. So back to my vices because I tried to get away from that a little bit. Here we go. All right. Vices that check in with me and let me know if you share any of them or not. Vices being smoking. We'll specify in a minute. Drinking. Not talking about juice. Well, sometimes juice is involved, but whatever. Sex. Three vices. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm gonna want to repeating this later, but this just popped into my head, right? I have realized and have come to the conclusion. Again, I'm talking about me, okay? Because I want as I'm speaking about me, I want you to self what? Reflect. Come on, say it with me now. Okay. Self-reflect. Okay. All about self, right? So I want you to think about your own vices. If you want to share them, by all means, as you are liking, sharing, I want you to comment. And of course, you can call in. You already know, call in, text. I'm gonna drop that number for you in a second. But I want you to think about your own stuff. So the key to this thing here called life is, as you hear about other people and their stuff, it is for you to then not to necessarily take it in like, oh my gosh, like prime example, ladies, as we sit around with our girls, and some of our girls are talking about their men and men problems, and they might be bashing and all that. Men always swear that if we get together, we just here to bash men, and that's not the case. But you you may not have issues with your man. You just may not. Now you may be able to relate because of past relationships, or just co-work. You've heard of others, having those same issues. But if you can't relate, you can't relate. I always carried my stuff that way. When I was in a relationship, even when I was in the most toxic of relationships, okay, I still would be like, no, if at that moment it didn't, relate, it didn't relate. And I didn't take it home to my man. I did not take it, back to my place. Like, I just would not do that. So, hey, 20, I call her twin cousin, y'all, Vondalia. Drinking is definitely my vice, with sex or the desire for it being a close second. Thank you for sharing that. I acknowledge you. I honor you. I respect you, Black Queen. Thank you. And you, baby, you on the way. I'm trying to tell you right now. Y'all already know. Now, I'm not calling, when I get to speaking of my stuff, I'm going to use this word again later. I'm not calling anything an addiction. I'm not referring to any of you as an addict. But when we get into talking about some stuff, as we really delve into this conversation, watch how that word and that term comes about and comes into play, right? I want to be clear that my shirt says perfectly imperfect. Okay. I see y'all see the perfect, but I wanted to let y'all know that I am fully aware that I am imperfect. However, I'm perfect, so it's fine. Okay. So what I have come to the conclusion of is that when I gave up these three things, as a combination, is when I received my biggest blessings, like in my adulthood, that I can refer back to in the past, recent past years, right? So when I gave up as a combo, drinking, smoking weed, right? I'm getting this off my shirt, y'all, because y'all not gonna talk about me like I don't know nothing, because it's not even dandruff. It's a piece of lint that just won't. Okay, now, okay, it's gone. Whoo, that was bothering me. I don't know about y'all, but it was bothering me. So when I gave up smoking weed, drinking liquor, alcohol, however you call it, whatever you call the devil's juice, whatever you refer to it as. Yeah, when I gave that up, along with smoking weed and sex, which obviously is premarital sex because I've never been married. Okay. Fornication, whatever you may call it, refer to it as, yes, it is very common, but just because everybody does it doesn't mean it's right, right? Just saying. We call ducks here. I might want to put that in the intro. I want y'all to be very clear that we definitely call ducks. So when I gave these three things up as a combo, I'm telling you, that was when I really had to really seek God, like heavy, trying to like really at the last stretch of about to receive my degree from Morgan State University. You already know the only HBCU there is. Go Bears. So I can rep them all day, but baby, they stress me out. They're lucky I don't have alopecia by now, because shout out to anybody dealing with alopecia. Not making fun, I promise, but my ignorance makes me refer to that because, baby, the stress levels definitely was fitting to have me with a cigarette hanging right here, like, and patches all over my head. Like, I don't even understand. Like, oh my Lord, right? So when I had to really seek his face, not just his hand, but his face, right? Had to see God. And so I was like, okay, I done everything else. I didn't took these exams, Lord, come on now. Like, and they still playing with me, like to the point where Morgan State University did not print my name in the commencement booklet. Talk about working long and hard for something to be like, wait, what? Okay. So when I say that shows that I got in off the skin of these teeth here, okay. Yeah. And so I had to realize, I was like, what else? What do I need to do? What is it? What do I need to give up? What? Right? I'm telling you, it was like bing. Since I was like, you know what? I'm not smoking. I'm not drinking. I don't want sex. Like, I don't want anything. Lord, I just want you, Lord. I just want you, Lord. Please, right? Honey? Say, oh, okay. You said get my shoes. What color am I wearing? Okay, then, period. Let's go. Let's go graduate my weight. Okay, boom. So then I'll be honest. Now, y'all gonna have to follow me because if y'all don't know by now, I'm a crazy Christ believer. Okay. So, of course, being a believer, and we all know that, religion is, it is studied to be irrational. I get that. That's where the belief comes in, right? Faith, strong about it, heavy on the faith. Okay, period. It's the faith for me. You already know what's up, right? So, given it took premarital sex to, get to the point where I now have a 3-year-old. Okay, so we get that. I'm very well aware. However, baby, when I tell you that, so my entire life, I know I've mentioned this before, we'll probably mention it several other times after this, that my entire life I prayed for, dreamt of, becoming somebody's wife and becoming somebody's mother. Like that was just right. And so a little background is that I was a late bloomer as far as like honestly starting my cycle. And I was scared. I was terrified, petrified, like anything you can think of, like just so scared for so long, like I can't have kids. That's just what that is, because that was my thing. Am I judging anybody that either doesn't want children, especially not anyone? I'm definitely not judging anyone that, unfortunately is unable to bear children, not even, or anyone that has made the choice, not to bear children, whether it's a snip, anything. Like I'm not judging that. All I'm talking about is me. My thing was I want to have children. I've had plenty of conversations about it. And so I had finally come to the conclusion, like, it's not for me. That's it. That's why, Lord, you got me. I started teaching children's church. Surprise, y'all. I was teaching children's church, y'all. Ain't that something? Shout out to my babies, on these babies, okay? And I was teaching that. I was working. Yeah, there we go. I was just about to start working the 2 nonprofits that I worked back then, which both of them basically the same job at 2 different places. One was at a homeless shelter. One was for a nonprofit right in the middle of the city. That was one, the Urban League, and then for St. Vincent de Paul, a shelter way out Richardson, Maryland. So imagine driving. Anyway, y'all, if anybody knows me, knows I'm not a fan of commuting, and that's a commute for me. Okay, because y'all know I always got the issue of running late. Whatever, always had. We're gonna put that in the past tense. Amen. And so for both of those organizations, I was basically, I forget my exact titles, but I was the youth activities coordinator. That was one specific title. That was for St. Vincent de Paul. And for Urban League, I was the youth program coordinator. I think that's the same thing. I probably just said the same thing twice. It's fine. Y'all bear with me tonight. And so, don't y'all love how I crack myself up? I'm telling you, I will crack myself up, y'all. Y'all don't even know what I think is funny. Like, when y'all think I'm funny, I don't think I'm funny. Anyway, so, so I was, I was like, okay, I'm working with children all around, church, 2 jobs, like, this is it. I'm just going to be on Nene. Boom, on Nene with the cats. I'm going to get me a giraffe one day. And that's just it. I'm going to show up to all the games and just be rooting everybody on. That's just it, right? It's so funny for when you tell God, like, God, I know it. I already know what's up now. I done figured it out, baby. I get it. It's cool with me. No, and then I had popped up pregnant. And so anyway, sorry, we're not going to fly past that. So then I found out I was pregnant. And so it was like, okay. Nope, I'm sorry, let me go back. So before I even conceived my child, right? Before I conceived Sydney, shout out to Sydney Adriana, love of my entire life, that I had given my vices up again. Now, mind you, the thing about it is I wasn't aware that, listen, I gotta have a giraffe. 20, I have to. I'm not even I'm like not joking. I'm gonna have a pet giraffe. So who I need to call? What letters? Because I was about to say CDC, because that's all the letters I'll be thinking of these days. But baby, who have ASPCA in them, LAPD, who, baby, I will have. I'm telling you right now, y'all gonna come over my house. Give me a little time, because I'm sure, it costs a little penny. Y'all can come over my house, and I'm gonna have the door unlocked, because I know you coming, because you already called or text and said you're on the way, and I confirmed. So I'm probably have the door unlocked because I'm busy sitting on the couch with my pet giraffe, just petting his head. What? Okay. Who's gonna stop me now? Okay. Hold on, wait a minute. We got another vice in here. Okay. So Sean says, sex and drinking are vices. So I self-reflect, meditate to make the pain go away because drinking and sex doesn't work. So I'm working on me. Michael Jackson once said, "The man in the mirror." That's good. We're gonna get to that, y'all. Man in the mirror. Y'all pin that. I like that. Thank you, Sean. 20, don't laugh at me. I'm so serious, y'all. I'm going to have a pet giraffe. So right before I conceived Sydney, I had given up my vices, and what I was saying was that it's not like even for it kind of. Now I'll be honest. What really made me reflect on it, like as different things came about after receiving my degree, was that I didn't even think in the moment, like, oh, I need to give up these. This is the key. Like, this is the key to unlock these doors, baby, and turn it off. Like, to endless opportunities and possibilities. Like, I didn't think of it that way. All I know is that as I was growing and matriculating through life, that I was realizing, like, okay, these are the things for me. And then I would realize, like, wait a minute, this is a little pattern. Side note, it's not pattern. If I hear one more y'all say pattern, stop it. Okay? Stop saying pattern. It's pattern. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna get y'all some lessons up in here today. Okay. So I realized that, I realized a pattern. Like, okay, when I give up these three things, so then now let's just fast forward because that's been some years. So like I said, I, given that up again, and then I conceived, my daughter, which again was still a surprise to me at that moment. Way back when, like I said, I had started my cycle late, but obviously still started, and it was very, very, very abnormal, right? We'll definitely get into these like feminine things, on another Thursday at 8 p.m. on BigExposedRadio.com. Woo-hoo. But we'll delve into those. But that was, a thing. So it was very normal. I just had a lot of years. I mean, a lot of years up until I conceived her that I just really knew, like, I just can't have children, right? And so it was like I had realized that I had given those things up beside the premarital sex. Again, it's iffy, it's weird. But then even during my pregnancy, if we want to talk about it, during my entire pregnancy, all the women independent, throw your hands up at me. Listen, if you have had a child, baby, if you have been pregnant, let me just leave it there in general. The way your hormones rage, imagine me going an entire 9.5 months pregnant, okay? Pregnant, no sex, like, mm-mm. The father of my child, we were not together when we conceived her. We had dated for years prior to, us conceiving her, conception, but we were not together. We were not on good terms at all. We were not talking, like, at all. So I absolutely was not. And so if I'm not sleeping with the father of my child, there's no one else touching. Like, oh my Lord, no. Not here. Get your little corona thing. Right. So that's that. And so that was still how I, gave it up, right? In a sense, like, just, because I was absolutely like covering, like, Lord, whatever I need to give up, whatever I need to do, obviously gave up drinking and smoking, obviously, like, did not even play about that. As soon as I found out, like, Lord, now I did just smoke last night. Yo, I literally, yeah, I got big high the night before I found out I was pregnant. Yeah. Talk about putting a dagger in something and getting you together. Okay. And then I remember, I had just started a job right before then. One of the two jobs that I was talking about, I started one of those, and there was like a company party and things like that down at the casino. Now, y'all know I don't gamble. If you don't know that, I don't. I think I mentioned before that the one time I went to Vegas, I think I gambled $1 in the slots, and I felt like I did something, cashed out with like 21 cents. The one other time here in one of the casinos, I cashed out with like 11 cents, and that was all the gambling. Like, all right, I ain't gonna lie. I just thought about it. That was a trip to Atlantic City. The blackjack table, baby. Not gonna lie. It bought me all my juicy couture stuff. That's neither here nor there. That's in the past. Okay. That was it. Okay. So, like, it was down the casino though. So, usually what? We've been going out to the casino and things like that. When you party, going down there to party. It's a drink party. So I went on there drinking stuff. Oh my Lord. Like, I still remember that. Like, I was not a gin drinker for whatever reason that night. I was drinking gin. Like, it was just crazy. And then, a week later, found out I was pregnant. So my idea, to be very honest, to give y'all some real inside scoop for real, is that I was like, Lord, one, I didn't party, I didn't have, that night where I was drinking, and then it was that night that I smoked. That's all the partying my baby will ever like. I know that people will slide you. Lord, y'all have got to watch. You got to watch the advice people give you. Okay, you can hear it, but you ain't got to take it all in. Like I told y'all before. Like people will definitely slide you. Like you can sip a little. Pregnancy gets to be stressful. You can slip a little. No, I'm not that pressed. Just like y'all pressed to get out and go travel and party during, big wrong. Not that pressed. I'm okay. I thought I had a tickle in my throat this morning. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That's my allergies, but whatever. I scared myself. I was, oh God. Oh. And that was because I went to the market the other day. I said, oh God, I will never get groceries again. Like, I'm just gonna cut it off. I don't know. Right. So I don't be pressed. Like I was not, right? So to protect the most precious thing that ever happened to me, the most precious blessing I had ever received, I said, no, not chancing it, not doing it. So gave it up. So in my mind, even though, yes, it takes, certain circumstances, and that's what we thank God for, that he will use circumstances, to come about for us to take heed and to help us to get away from. I know y'all felt like I was going around the mulberry bush. I was coming to the point. I promise. He will use different circumstances to get us to cut things out of our lives that, one, we don't need. I want to be very clear about that. Any of the vices that we might talk about tonight, we don't need them. We don't, y'all. They're not necessity. I know, and I'm talking like in general. I'm speaking from being in the midst of the deepest valleys, so the darkest places that you could imagine, to some of the highest places. Because when you are in celebration mode, you want to party or whatever your vices are. You want to do those things because they bring you joy, or they bring you happiness, not joy. That's the point tonight. Excuse me. See how it was easy to slip and misconstrue that and mix that up. So, and then of course, obviously, we use that as an excuse to turn to those things, those vices, when we're in our lowest places, right? I'm here to tell you, live through it. I live through it. We don't need them. We don't. And so that's that, right? So then let's see, what else was I blessed with? Like then I realized, like, so okay, Lord, I'm trying to cut these things out. Did I go back to some things? Yes, I did. Once I okay, so let's go back. So I said about the degree, that was the first time. I think that's really the first time that I can recall, the first major event that happened that I realized I had to, even though I felt like I had given my all and had done everything that I needed to do, that I still got to a place where it was still more for me to do. So that's your pen. That's a B tip for the week. Be sure to know that even when you've given your all, there's still more for you to do. And that means more life, more purpose, more of your journey to travel, more things, more work for you to do, but also more sacrifices to make. Of course, meaning more responsibility to come. Of course, that means more accountability to be held, over you. That's just life. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not here to tell you that changes when you get to a certain point, when you get to a certain age, when you, hit certain markers, benchmarks in life, check a few things off the list. Now y'all can check with y'all celebrities. Y'all love to comment all on their stuff anyway, like they are friends. So y'all can check with your celebrities, the ones that have, made it and that have like, 6+ figures, all in their bank account, just sitting there. Y'all can check with them and ask. I don't think I'm wrong, y'all. Just want to be clear. So the fact that, you don't need them. So it's really the matter of giving it up, right? Or working toward that. So last week we talked about or one of the past weeks, sorry, but we've talked about already that, your contributions, right? Of like, if whatever you're contributing, is it, positive or negative? So even when we talk about, of course, like to the, for the culture, to the community, to our people, when we say, what we do and what we're contributing, it it always resorts back to working on self. No matter how you look at it, what scope, what lens, what perspective, which angle, I mean, however y'all want to put it, when you are tuning into the universe, you're getting closer to Christ, like, and however you put it, it still always goes back to working on self. I am very self-reflective. I am so self-reflective that I actually recall more recently, I recall that back when, oh my gosh, I was very young. Shout out to West Baltimore Street. West Side? Y'all know West Side the best side. Stop playing. So, but I still rep East too because I love the family from over there. You already know that. So in my thug days, I say that I run East and West because I was about to say that it stay on the tip of my tongue, but y'all don't get that. But it's cool. Y'all gonna get it because I'm a thug for real. Like, I just want to be clear about that. I am a thug. Yeah, I don't know. But so that, okay. So I used to, like I said, West Side, all that. So when we lived West Baltimore Street, I was very young. That's all. I don't know how young, but very young. And I remember that. So my bedroom, there was a connector door from my bedroom to my parents' room. And I either would come out of my room and walk up the hallway to their, bedroom door, or there was that door. I don't think we ever actually opened or used that door, but obviously it was the connecting door, right? So self-reflective. Like, it is crazy to literally reflect back on, what, that's redundant. We're going to get out of redundance. Okay, redundancy. Not reflect back on, because reflect already means to look back. Okay. Come on, y'all. We're going to get it together. We're going to start speaking. They're going to be able to tell how intellectual we are. Okay. How intelligent we are. They're going to be able to tell that by our speech, because that's why they play with us, because we'll open our mouths and then they don't connect what we're saying, because it's not their responsibility to give us the benefit of the doubt that we know what we're talking about based off of what we've said. So when we sound all, hood, ghetto, whatever they want to call it, they don't even give us the, the benefit of the doubt that we got it all up here, because we all do, for real. I'm always hold on to that, right? So we just want to get our words right. So anyway, so not reflect back on, but reflect, right? We let our words speak for themselves. So when I reflect to when I was that young, and that I realized that I was the person that I would like punish myself, no lie, again, because I'm perfect. And I was a perfect kid. Like, I really didn't do, I didn't do a lot wrong. Like, nowadays in my family, we get together and now they want to try to bring up some stuff. Child, ain't nothing to bring up. Like, it's nothing to bring up. But so say if I did something, or at least I thought I did, and like I wasn't, reprimanded for it, right? Never got beaten. Had one beaten in my entire life, because I didn't deserve that, but I guess that's all I deserved in life. Besides my mother popping me, and I didn't deserve that either. She popped. Okay, these cheeks used to bounce. You hear me? Whatever. And so I look back on that, and I really was the kid that if I felt like I wasn't reprimanded enough, right? I wasn't punished enough or whatever, I would be like, I would punish myself. I remember being like, I don't deserve, I'm laughing, but it's really not funny. I don't deserve to sleep in this bed that's been, of course I didn't say these like big words. I probably did that because I was perfect and intelligent even back then. But I would be like, I don't deserve to sleep in this bed that's, one of the many blessings that's bestowed upon me. Like, it was just all this drama in my head. And I'd be like, so I'm not going to sleep now. I would sleep at that door, that connector door. Or I guess because a few times I was like, what, they didn't even know I slept there. So let me go and sleep at their door. Like, let me sleep at the foot of their throne, right? Let me just sleep there so that way they know, like, I'm sorry. And it could have been something so small, so minuscule, so minute. And I still be like, no, I deserve, I don't know what I thought I deserved, but I knew what I didn't deserve, right? So I was that self-reflective from a very young age. And I'm learning, because I've been so self-reflective for so long, because I just dropped my pen on the floor. Don't y'all say nothing that I gotta take notes on, because to try to keep it up here, baby, it ain't gonna happen. But I still want y'all to like and share and comments. Let me know. We're gonna get into your vices, because I'm about to see. I see another one that can pop up here. We're about to get into that. But I would feel like I just didn't deserve, certain things that I was blessed with because of what I did. And because I felt that way again, since that age for so long, I'm really learning that I've been told my entire life, Benia, people do not think like you. I don't even think my parents knew what they were telling me way back when. So many times, so many times have I heard that growing up. And then it was always, better, be the bigger person. I'm talking about at a young age, like still like, ha. So I got to a place of, I don't want to be responsible. I said this in one of the past shows. Like, I was at a place, it was one of my days where, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, that I just didn't feel like it. I didn't want to be. But so again, when I say that even when you think you've given your all and done everything that you can possibly think of, that is the point of seeking God. That is why, I believe in God the Father so much, that because he's my checks and balances. Where are your checks and balances? Where do they come from? Who do they come from? Do you do it? It's not every day that the average person thinks to, really check themselves, and, it's not. And it's okay though, because life gets to be that much. Look at how we are right now, how we're living right now. Like, it's not easy. I'm telling you, that is why my brain is running. Come across me like in my personal life, like you'll just see me be like, okay, let me go pick this up. Okay, no. Like, it is so much because my brain is just like on overload. Okay, so let's get into reading some more vices that I see popped up. Okay, so Sean shares, if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Okay. Shout out to Michael Jackson, the late and great. Nothing, no one ever like him. I will forever stand by that, as well as Prince. Y'all see the purple in the background. Okay. It takes light to see the darkness in yourself. I see things differently because I go in my second bedroom, town home, and I meditate and make myself cry to help free my mind, because tears can be joyful or painful or both. So I use my hurt or joy as my success or chance to be better. Thank you. Continues to say, shout out to moi. It'd be mixed for helping him to bring light into his darkness and ending so much darkness for him. First and foremost, you're welcome. But I'm always saying you're welcome, like, as the appropriate response. To the latter half of what you said, but it's not me. It's not me. It's not the B mix. It's you. It's definitely you. I think that even and this speaks to your first point, that as you hear, like I was saying earlier, as you hear other people talk about their stuff, it is supposed to, I truly believe that it's supposed to invigorate something within it, whether it be your intuition, whether it be past, you talk about hurts. If it's supposed to bring to light what you as an individual are to work on, what have to work through, what you need to overcome. We talked about overcoming some things last week. It's not, I take no credit whatsoever. To God be the glory, really. Like, it is all to him, just because that is how he moves and how he works, and he uses different things. Y'all ever realize it's certain things that we say, right? So we'll say that, I was arguing with my man, or you were arguing with your girlfriend or whatever, right? And then I hopped on social media and I saw all these posts back to back to back from different, sites and different pages that all were saying the same thing, that were relevant to what, was going on. No, it wasn't just Big Brother. And truthfully, again, I told you I'm a crazy Christ believer. So I believe they uses things like that we, kind of check things off to be like, oh, it's Big Brother. It's the government. They looking in on the internet and this and that. And they going, bring things forth that, we were talking about and thinking, sure, yes, because Lord knows, since I was like addicted to like buying a few things lately, like now it's everywhere. I get that. But I don't take it lightly that, think how God is able to reach us, he will. So he is the epitome of, meeting you where you are. Hence why we're then supposed to take that and do the same thing. So what pops into my head is Western High School, only the best, the only high school that matters, and not just in the city, but in the nation and in the world. I'm sorry if you had to attend, or if you attended any other educational institution and was not as privileged as I am. to have, matriculated through and graduated from the Western high school, only the best. But that aside, our school, motto, I guess is the best way to put it, is lucem excepimus, lucem demus, right? And so that is Latin for as we have received light, let us give light. Come on, I'm gonna let that go and sit there and marinate for a second. Yep. Y'all mean to tell me that wasn't good for y'all? That was good to me. That is always, and it's not a promise. I'm not a biased person. I can have all the school spirit all day, but I'm not biased, right? But that is very, very, very powerful. Like it is for everything. So because it uses light, right? Light can't really be, compared to anything else. Like just just like, well, no, love, we try to, right? Because we try to understand love, so we compare it. So let me stay out of that conversation for another day. But light, we don't necessarily, we say, bounce off of this, it gives reflection here, it, allows us to see this color and that. Like it does all these things, but it can't be compared. Come on now. Just like you, baby. You like that? Yes, you, right there. Yeah. Oh, no, yes, you. Cannot be compared to anything or anyone else. They may try to compare you to something else, someone else, in order to try to make a point, but it's always a try, an attempt. You are uniquely you. You are wonderfully made, right? In his image, in his perfect image. So you come from perfection. Why not that be, an objective? Why is that not a goal of yours to work toward that? And I say all of that because truthfully, where I knew for sure as I was preparing, just to begin my show some time ago, that literally one of the first, it's so crazy, I can't find like one of my first notes, but one of the first topics I wrote down was vices, right? To talk about that and to just really, which I'm still going to get back into, don't worry, about like just opening up about my three vices and, encouraging others to, again, which I hope y'all continue to, write out, share if you want to, this is an open space. I want you to know that. Or you can call in and text. You can definitely call in and text, right? The number, and I'm going to give it to you. I swear, I know I said it, but let me finish my point so I don't lose it. But as you share your vices, right, that, it's for you to work on you. It's not for me. It's not for anybody else that might be watching, that might be listening, that might watch the rewatch it later. Like it's not for anybody else. Even when, hi Nina. Oh my, hi Nina. Hi Nina. I will talk to you. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I've been working on some stuff, y'all. I've been working on some stuff. I dropped it a little bit, but I ain't like officially dropped it yet, Nina. It's coming though. I promise, because it's coming. Just bear with me. And so your vices are for you. Even when you go to, y'all know I'm an advocate, a strong advocate for therapy, counseling, seeking help, all of that in between, above and beneath, right? Not beneath, because you're better than that. But everything, right? As far as seeking help, it's not for the person that you're speaking to. It's not for your therapist. It's not for your counselor, baby. I told you, like, as I would speak to my counselor, my therapist, I would but like check on them. How are you? This and the third. But our session, as they also are aware, it's not for them. Nina, don't hype me. Do not hype me right now. It's coming though. I'm telling you, just hold on, y'all, and hold on, Nina. I promise. And so it's never for the other person. Even when you just speak to a friend, a relative, someone that a trusted soul, right? It's never for that other person. We, as in our carnal mind, so as our flesh, like as humans, we think like, oh, I'm either boring them, I'm wearing them down, I'm burdening them with my troubles. It's not for them, it's for you. So that is why you really, so even when you think of, oh, I opened up before to a friend or to a relative, or to someone close, and they burnt me, they hurt me, whatever the case may be, first and foremost, you can only be betrayed by someone close to you. Okay. So it is still, that is a prime example of when you are to self-reflect and to go back and figure out, like, where did this particular person show me signs? And I mean, it can be anyone, y'all. We know this. Come on now. If y'all want to talk about it, y'all want to start listening to some people that have betrayed you, that's fine with me. Y'all can shout them out. I've been betrayed. Okay. Y'all like that deep voice a little bit? I'm telling you, I'm gonna be on praise and worship team because I got range. Um, so it is the fact that, you are to reflect on the fact that this person, where did they show me signs that I could not trust them with my stuff? Is it because I trusted them with my stuff out of the season in which it was okay to trust them with my stuff? In my opinion, if you couldn't trust them at some point, or if you can't trust them now, you couldn't trust them at all. So take it how you want. Okay. But it is for you to, it is, I want y'all to really take it in that it's okay to believe that sometimes, I couldn't get that one out. Sometimes it is easier to, lay your stuff on someone that doesn't know you. So one, because I really want people to think the way that I do, as far as, say, in the past, right? In past relationships, if I, needed some, because they were so toxic and all that, and I didn't realize it then, or didn't want to realize it, that I would seek, either seek some advice or just need to vent or whatever. But I still was very cautious. I was very cautious because I never wanted biased opinions. I didn't want somebody that only knew him, or that only knew me, or if that was the case, that would only, lean on or lean to or be on the side of. Like, don't choose sides for me. If I'm wrong and I come to you, you tell me that I'm wrong. Right? Now I'm a little sensitive. So you might have to, I know I said I'm a thug. I'm a sensitive thug. Don't worry about it. But you tell me, make sure that it's a way that I can receive it. If I'm crying and boo-hooing and all of that, that's probably not the time to yell at me. That's all I'm saying. Like, as a people, we need to be sure of, and I know I've mentioned this before, so I don't mind sounding like a broken record because I want us to get it, right? But as a people, we have to get to the point that we are okay with, we're okay with hearing what we need to hear. Now, are there times? Of course, because you can't make blanket statements, you can't make generalizations. You just can't. Even me saying can't, because obviously you can. But it behooves you not to, simply because there are going to be times where you slip, because we are imperfect. Y'all see it on the check? Perfectly imperfect. I'm telling you, this is for us. This is the movement. I'm telling you. It's just what it is, right? That, you will slip, but you have to be okay with that. So there are times that will want to call this particular sister or this friend, knowing that they're going to tell you, like, once you, because I'm going to tell you the story. However, whoever you are, if you are on the listening end, I'm going to tell you that story, that issue, that argument, whatever case. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. One, because I'm really not good at I'm just not. I'm not good at lying. But if I do, I don't know. It's weird. I tell it myself, basically. If I lie to you, I'm telling you. I'm either telling you in the moment or later. Like, remember earlier, I was wrong. So it doesn't matter, like, who it is. I would tell them the whole story. But of course, there are times that you're gonna choose, like, see, if I call this one, she gonna tell me what I need to hear. I'm gonna call this one so I can hear what I want to hear. But I don't know about anybody else. And yes, I said anybody else, baby. Sometimes the world, life, the universe, whatever you calling it, right, will turn on you. Because right now, truthfully, and it's been for some time now, that there's really only one that I can think of, but used to be the one I was like, oh, I know I can call her. That's my sis. She gonna just tell me what I want to hear. It's like, no, she don't play now. Like, she is the one that tells me what I need to hear and puts it to me straight. Like, that's the best way I learned. For our generation, y'all, let's call it out, millennials. We are I'm not saying that it doesn't apply to anyone else, but most certainly for us, we are the put it plain generation. You got to put it plain for us, period. Okay? Like, for me, that's the only way I'm learning. Now, it still means that I have to experience it. I need to be exposed to it and things, but you still got to put it plain for me. You can't just tell me, oh, just do it. Just, just figure it out. Figure it out. That's the part I need help with, is figuring it out. Like, help me. Help me. Okay? Like, that's it. And so when we, again, getting back to, oh, wait a minute. Hold on, because I see a scripture popped up, and y'all know I love a scripture, because y'all know I'm not good at quoting scripture. Amen. Y'all keep praying for me. Okay, so Sean says, Matthew chapter 5:14. Ooh, ye be the light of the city that sit on the hill that cannot hide. Amen. May God bless the reading of his word, all those in his hearing, especially those whom believe Jesus Christ. We pray. Okay. I want y'all to know what we do over here at the B Mix. Okay. I'm speaking for self, Benia. Okay. I don't play. Y'all know I love the Lord. Okay. I love his word. I just not good at quoting it all the time, but my heart. I just need y'all to bear with me on what's on my heart sometimes too. But thank you, Sean, for that scripture, because that again goes back with when I was talking about, Western High School, only the best. Our motto, lucem acceptimus, lucem demus, right? So again, let us, as we have received light, let us receive light, let us give light, in short. So it's exactly that. It is on us. That is our role. That's our responsibility, just for breathing. Right? Because have you ever, by show of hands, have you ever thought like, Lord, now, so somebody why is all this on me? Like on my shoulders. Now they might be a little broad. Okay, it's a little, my shoulders are a little broad. But I ain't saying that, it's supposed to have the weight of the world, Jesus. Like, I thought that's what you did. Like, I'm confused. Like, right? But it is for it says, I will, breathe breath into your nostrils every day, as long as I choose. And this is what you finna do in the meantime. Well, this is what you're supposed to do. It is still what you fitting to do. It's just, we still get free will, but it's still what you fitting, right? And so we are supposed to do just that. Give light, give light, give light, give light. We're talking about this. A lot of people are turning to, they are aligning their chakras. I love it. Some of us are, going back and trying to connect with our ancestors. I love it. All of that in between and around, especially those of us that know the one true way is through the one true living God, and that's Jesus Christ, the Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Like, that's it, right? That's the only way we're going to get by. Nina, what I tell you, I told you stop hyping me up, man. Thank you. Girl, I'm just talking. I be telling y'all, I just be talking. I'm trying to tell y'all. That's it. This y'all fault. Y'all hype me up and let me feel like it was time for me to get on here somewhere and just get to talking. Now, that's what y'all getting. But thank you, Nina. So it's on us. So, because I know, y'all thought I forgot about the main point about tonight, and I didn't. Where does this go, Benia? What you doing, girl? Right? Well, I'm glad you asked. Is that so? Because maybe a mathematical, y'all like math? No, little temperature check. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm telling you, do not tell me the answer is no, because I don't accept that. Especially when people of color, I do not allow us to say, you cannot say this around me. Oh, I hate math. I hate it. Stop. Again, I'm gonna start in y'all. Okay, get y'all together. Get us together, because we're in this together. I promise. Right on. So that if our responsibility is to give light. And a lot of us right now, prior to even some of us in some time, right? We all have to go through our seasons, and only God is to tell and knows which season which of us are to experience. If at some point in time or another in our lives that we experience darkness, but Nia, how am I giving light? That don't add up, right? I get that, baby. I get it, right? I'll be honest that even in my darkest hours, in my darkest times, I still showed up for people. I still loved through my darkness. Last week, I talked about, proving your faith by pushing through your fear. Baby, I'm talking about it's storming a whirlwind outside. I don't know about y'all, but I hope somebody is inside. Amen. Or get inside quickly, because right here, Baltimore City, baby, it's coming down, down. Okay, like raining, rain. Oh. So y'all know the songbird. Y'all better go ahead. Y'all see the mic in the back? Let me sing to it. Okay, it's done. Don't worry about it. I'll get y'all later for that. Don't worry about that. But that I get that that does not make sense to the naked eye, to the first eye, the average eye, the cock eye, whatever, like whatever eye, right? It doesn't make sense. But it is just that. I'm telling you that again in my darkest hour, because I know that a part of my own ministry is ministering to people. So showing up for people, even in the midst of my stuff, in the midst of my storm. Thank you, Lord. He know how to show up, baby. This storm outside is showing that as it is storming outside, I'm right inside, creating my own light, creating my own space. So again, how do we get to that, right? Because again, we're in the generation of we need to put plain. So to put it plain, in order to be able to serve the purpose by which all of us, each and every last all of us, has a purpose on this here earth. I'm gonna go and let that marinate too. Go on, wait for it. Okay, got it? You sure? All right, then now I can say it. I'm gonna say it again. Just for those in the back, because you always tell me to yell for those in the back. I don't know. What's that phrase? Say it louder for them in the back. I don't know who's in the back, but hey, in the back. That's my ministry. I'm the one in the back because they used to come in late. Moving on. So not because I didn't want to, be included, but because I was really late. But I also learned to this point, I learned how to minister. So we're talking about church, right? If I came to church late. So this is for all the people that try to talk about me and make fun of me for always being late to church. There was ministry in everything that I did. Was it on purpose? Not necessarily. Shout out to mistaken ministry. That's good. That'll preach. Listen, somebody pin that for me. That's good. Mistaken ministry. That's good. Because that's me, right? So this perfectly imperfect Benia you see before you has always been that girl that just was rolling through her stuff. So the mere fact that, prime examples that I would definitely, y'all ask anybody on church, Lord have mercy. So I was coming in late. Y'all, it really is. I know some excuses, but it was because being late was in my blood. But I broke that. Like I'm working on it. Whatever. Ooh, child, I'm gonna get into that another day, baby, another day. But if you know my mama, whatever. So anywho, so coming to church on my own, come in really, really late, like really just in time for the word, and miss everything else and everything. I mean everything. But yet I was that person like in there, I'm able to give you that eye view and that perspective from that area. So, if the further away from the pulpit you are, it's believed and some truth to it that, the less likely, not less likely, but just the less that you are focused. There's more distraction, probably those, people that are probably talking a little bit, whatever, just anything, right? Opposed to those, closer, right? Does it mean that the ones closer don't have their time, don't have their days? No, it doesn't mean that at all. Because why? Stay with me now. No one's perfect, even though we're made in his perfect image. Come on, follow me, y'all. This thing on. Hello. All right, just making sure. Y'all let me know y'all with me. So the fact that I found some ministry in just that though, and the crazy part is I accepted the ridicule, like is she come late? Okay then. I'm in ministry, baby. I'm in ministry mode. Don't worry about it. Even before I knew that I was really, called to do anything. And that was still, catch this, that was still while I was telling God no. All right, I had to make sure he wasn't gonna strike me for that, baby, because I know if he reflect on the times, the decades, the long, long years that I told him no, like God, I ain't doing that. But wait, I'm not doing that. You want me? No. I keep hearing all these words now. No, like earlier when I was talking about you argue and all of that, and you feel this type of way, you're in this toxic relationship, and you get on social media, see all these posts that are relevant. Same thing. You see all these or hear all these, confirmations and affirmations and words from different people and prophecies. You're supposed to be in ministry. Ministry who? Furnish you what? Teach what? No, no, thank you. I don't want to now because I'm having fun in sin. You don't want to talk about it? I'm talking about vices tonight, ain't I? I enjoyed sin. Don't want to let something marinate. Let that one marinate. I enjoyed it. Absolutely enjoyed sex. Truth be told, it's meant to be enjoyed, you know, by married people, by marriage, by husband and wife. Yeah, it's supposed to be enjoyed by them. hmm I enjoyed drinking to the point where I was drunk. And the crazy part is, it's crazy to say that now, and this is why I said earlier that this word will come back. We might have to have a continuation on this one because we might have to get a little deeper as I introduce this word again or reintroduce this term. That for real, y'all know about when you gotta say it twice. Black people gotta say it twice for it to be real. So for real, that we have lived in a society where it's like I want to say society. I really believe society goes that broad, but let's just say within the city, right? So in the city of Baltimore, you choose, baby. What's your drug of choice? Am I lying or am I flying? Okay, right? So because we thought that there had to be, like, you have to choose this instead of understanding. See, look, this is how I'm able to speak now, right? And where I want all this to get to, that there's also another option. So there's that, there's A, B, C, D, and then there's E, either none of the above, right? Like I can choose not at all. I don't want it at all. I don't want it. So in my way of thinking way back when, I remember so many times of saying, oh no, my drug of choice, it ain't drinking. Nope, I'd rather smoke. Okay. I wasn't judging myself. I'm not judging myself now, but I definitely wasn't judging myself then. I was in a different mind space and allowed more of it. Like I was okay with it. I, looked forward to it. I planned on it, planned around it, right? And I'm coming to the word that I said I was going to reintroduce. I'm coming, I promise. That because all of that, to me, saying all of that out loud sounds like an addict. You want to talk about it? Any sex addicts in the house? Remember how a lot of us talked and joked about that? Like, I'm addicted to sex. Dumb. You've said it at some point in life. You've said it. You've thought it. It's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay to admit. That's what it is. Like when I say it's okay to admit and it's okay to acknowledge. That's the better way. That's the only way. So earlier when I talked about, again, shout out to Vondalia, twin cousin. Listen, thank you for admitting your vices. Sean, you admitted some vices. I think it was the only two that talked about or, at least wrote out their vices right here in the comments. But I'm not judging off of, what you said in the comments. I want y'all to interact. I want to talk to you, as I'm doing the show. But, when we talk about something deep like vices, because I'm not just talking, y'all. This is work right here. This is your own ministry for real. No matter what you believe, what you think, I don't care whoever you pray to be honest. Because for real, the God that I serve is the one true living God. But he says to love over anything else, love. And if I am nothing else, I embody love just like, well, I'm comparing myself to Christ, but not because I think of Christ. I want to be Christ. But just like God says to love, I take direction well, most of the time. That is one for sure. That is like literally from the tip of my big toe all the way back to the my ashy soul heels and whatever. I took my bath. I didn't moisturize, whatever. But rolling on up to my child, let's just see my legs. Ashy. Okay. Anyway, all the way up to up here, baby. Okay. I was about to say ashy. No. Love. Like that is the one thing I absolutely know how to do without thinking. I think I know how to love more than I know how to breathe, to be honest. I'm better at loving than I am breathing sometimes. Okay, Nina. Let's see. This is good, Nina. Okay, Nina says my vices are always taking on too much. I value helping, but I overwhelm myself sometimes. Let me tell you what came to mind just now because it's something I've been thinking about in the past few days. I actually want to share it with my boss because my current boss, she just in us talking, and it baby, it'll be a spirit that'll bring people to you and make you want to. If you don't believe it, it's a spirit thing, baby. I don't know what to tell you, right? So and this is not like the first boss that just open up that I've had just a relationship or connection with, just at least to talk about stuff aside from work. Often, like it's not just a one thing. Anyway, so one thing she says for sure, she's like, me, I like to say it all out and pour it all out. And this is like speaking to you, sharing, Nina, and I thank you. And I'm sorry, I should say, for Vondalia, Sean, and Nina. I acknowledge, I honor, I respect you. I expect your queendom and kingdom. Amen. Like y'all have no idea. I really, really honor it because it took me a long time. Remember, I said I started the show in order to unmute myself. As vocal as I've always been, I've been very muted. How about that one? See, you never know what people are going through. So I acknowledge you all sharing your vices, and the rest of you that at least are thinking about, hopefully, your wheels are turning, and you're considering, right? Just acknowledging your own vices of, what you need to work through, overcome, rid of, be delivered from, right? And so back to like with my boss, she says often, like, I like to just say it all out. I want to tell them, more so they don't have to ask questions, right? Something that's been on my heart to share with her, truthfully, has been that not the more you share, but in that moment. So everything is about reading the room. Okay, Nina, right? About business. Come on, money. That is about reading the room. So in the moment, even if your idea is, in a report is, let me just share it all out, pour it all out, get it all out, so that way they don't have to ask any questions. Well, then that's exactly what you're doing, though, is cutting off you're cutting the head off at the very beginning to say that, I must say everything, and then you don't allow anything to, you don't allow any room, any opportunity for conversation. And if it is not meant to be that moment, if it is something that you want to, the goal at some point is to have a discussion, to have a dialogue, then that's not what you want to do. So even, when Nina talks about like taking on too much, that's for a lot of us. That is, you are not, I want to say this to you loud and clear, you are not by yourself, right? Just like we've realized as others have shared their vices before that, they reflect some of the vices that I've shared, right? And not, no one on here is by yourself. So that's, if we want to talk about just like, the phrase is, misery loves company, but I mean, it does make you feel better to know that the things that you deal with or dealing through, working through, that, you're not by yourself. More of the reason why we need to talk about it, right? So why I'm appreciative of the opportunity of my show is, to give us, this is for us. I keep saying it's for me, but it's for the me, as in for us, a platform for us to talk about our things, talk about our stuff, work through our stuff, to, unpack, unload, unwind, in order to rebuild, and to prepare for the next day, to keep it moving forward, because we're in a movement. It is no movement if it is standing still. Okay? Got it? Sure? All right. Y'all tell me no if I need to repeat something now. And so when we, take on too much, we know that, and I'm not pointing fingers, if anything, I'll point all fingers to me. We know that means that you're more likely to, or it's easier to, or more prone to, drop the ball somewhere. Right. And it could be on the thing that you're like, oh no, I can pick up all these other things because I got this here. And then it'll end up being that I got this here thing. And it's like, God dang it, Lord, I done dropped this daggone ball, Lord, and it keep rolling. I can't even pick it up. Y'all ever dropped the ball? Y'all playing ball out in the street? Y'all be there when it was always me, Butterfinger self, and just be like, I don't know where to get it, but it's like, no, I ain't gonna lie. Don't knock me being thick, baby. I will move on you now. Don't get twisted. But the ball will keep rolling. So it's like, don't drop the ball. That's the point. And if you do, baby, have it so, built up that, or, you done built the team so well that ball drops, somebody done scooped and saved that thing. You ever go to drop your phone on the charger, but God, and he'll hold it by that charger cord, baby, and that cord ain't come out that phone. Whew, that must just be me, y'all. Y'all not talking to me today. It's fine. Don't worry about it, baby. God didn't. He didn't save the mighty phone. Matter of fact, was it during the show? No, it was right after the show. I mean, right before the show. Baby, I dropped this phone. Dropped it. Good. Okay. I said, Lord, dang. Usually, other times you grab it, but I didn't grab the cord. It slipped through my fingers, whatever. But as we're, weighed down and so heavily loaded that it doesn't allow us to see what we're missing out on. What opportunities, what visions, what provision, like what we're able, to see, like what we're able to do. We miss out on something, and it could be the smallest thing, but it still holds weight. Whatever it is that we miss out on, that's the thing. You just don't want to miss out on. Doesn't mean to jump on every opportunity. That's not what I'm saying. That's not the point of this word. I will make sure I probably comb through that a little more, during another show. But it's just that you don't want it to be that you are so heavily weighed by things that you have pulled on. So I think like sitting in the sandbox and you just pulling. I was this person. Sit there, bring all the same between my legs, just pushing. I don't know why. I have no clue, but this is bringing me back to how excited I was. So bring it. And then, and what? Then I'm stuck. I remember one particular time in the sandbox, these two boys stepped over. They went to like say something small. Like I was going to get up and run at them, fight them or whatever. I couldn't because I was, like that was it. So, oh, wait a minute. Okay. So Nina also says, I'm very appreciative. Oh, I'm very appreciative of seeing you shine. I lost. Okay. Shine and give feedback on a real issue you deal with. Absolutely. I definitely did drop the ball a couple of times. And guess what? I'm here to tell you, Nina, it's okay. We have all dropped the ball at some point. It's okay. And that's the point of us working toward, getting better at, not even getting to the point where we're not dropping the ball, because I guess that eventually happened, but more so that we have built our village to the point where if the ball is dropped, that one, you probably the outside world can't tell. Outside world, we know what that is, our opposers. Amen. Like just no balls are still up in the air here. We got it. It's in our court too. We're okay. We're dribbling it. We doubled it. We alley-ooping. You know what I mean? We're going up for the layup. Like we assisting. Like we catching all these rebounds. Like I ain't know all that. I told you I love sports and they don't play with me. I can't quote all this, especially football. I just know where it's supposed to go, how it's supposed to get there. I'm just saying. And any other sport, that's for the most part too. And I'm telling you, but they gave me grace. Amen. That's it. I'm telling you, God is so good to us because He knows. He be looking. I truly, just like I think that guardian angels and all that, they have like staff meetings and all. And I do. I believe that. You can't tell me otherwise. It's gonna really take God Almighty to be like, girl, we do not have staff meetings here. But that they have staff meetings and all. So I still believe that for whatever reason, I believe that because again, God knows everything, right? So He's up there, He's watching. I feel like it's like TV. So it's like all these channels. So He's able to just watch all the channels. And so again, especially when it comes to me, He'd be like, Jesus, come here. What? Look at the Benia, turn the Benia channel on. You know how you yell from room to room. Put BET on. Yeah, they playing 5 Heartbeats again. Yeah, like that, right? So God yelled like, put the Benia channel on. Yeah, the Benia channel, right? And just watch. Look at him. Putting too much on herself again. Let me get this girl some grace. Push the grace button. Boom. So, like Nina, they had to give you grace because God gives us grace over and over and over again. Like. Lord, you dropped your hard drive. Oh, like Nina said, I dropped my hard drive too, literally. And it, but I know it meant I needed to revamp what I already created and make it better. I ain't got to say nothing else to that. Now that's a mic drop. Y'all don't have sound effects. Get some sound effects like that. I don't have to say anything to that. That's exactly it. Like that's I'm so happy. Like, I am overwhelmed with just excitement, right? Because that's exactly how you're supposed to take things. That is exactly how I think. That's exactly how I, operate. That as soon as it's like, oh, shoot, this just happened, immediately, it's because I've trained myself. Y'all know it doesn't happen overnight, but you have to put forth conscientious effort toward thinking like that and operating just like that. So you have to think like, okay, this happened, boom, what does this mean? How do I get out of this? Like, you have to keep doing it and keep doing it so that way you're able to just, we were just talking about sports, right? So, you practice on, being able to dribble, or you practice being able to break some ankles, right? So that way, once you get to the point where you have to, you can actually do that, quicker, you can finesse it a little better. You know what I mean? You can move and maneuver. That's the whole point. Driving. Y'all think about driving. Y'all, I don't think y'all want to see me drive. Baby, I'm a driver. Okay. I want to let you know. But one thing about me is, for whatever reason, I don't like to stay behind cars. I don't know what that is about. So if I'm in a lane, and but if I can, I'm always like, like maneuvering and like not crazy though. That's the thing. I judge my driving based off the fact that, as I still consider myself a safe driver, because I'm never putting myself or anyone else at risk, of danger, harm, anything like that in between. Right now, it might be on you that you're like, wait a minute, if it's something, but it's still because if I done jumped over somewhere, or went over here or whatever, it's because I have judged the time and the space, my momentum, like all of that. Right in my mind, y'all. It just be stuff. It just be moving and jumping and stuff all the time. So my thoughts, right? But that's just what I do, right? Because, and it's been good enough practice, and it's what I do naturally. So my, bid to you guys is the fact that if you do not already think like that, it is time. Ding, ding, ding. It is time. Such a time is this for us to begin to, be very, and I mean very self-reflective. We are too self-doubtful, right? If we want to make, like, self-doubt is just, it's at an all-time high. And I get it. I do. I mean, I do. I absolutely do. I absolutely get self-doubt on a daily basis. I get self-doubt. Why? Because again, I'm on here talking about my vices. I shared with you guys, and my vices were, sex and drinking and smoking, right? And as I, have now given those up, I mentioned a couple weeks ago, somebody tried to call me out. Yes, I mentioned my name. Because I know before that week prior, I was talking about, the quarantine date and all that, how that was terrible and all that. But so, I am absolutely waiting until marriage. If he turns out not to be it, then I haven't given it up, right? And that whoever it shall be will know that, yeah, even when I was dating, that, I held on to it, right? That is my, thing. Not thing. That just is my life. That is my choice. That is my, I'm gonna say thing because that's the only word I can think of right now, but that is my choice. That is my sacrifice back unto my creator, to show him that the very things, the three things that I realized weighed me down. Because remember, I mentioned, addiction. Like, would Benia say, I was addicted, I needed it, I heard it for it, all three of the vices. No, I would not say that. But that is the me that I still need to work on, to where I really acknowledge that, yes, actually it was. Because if you knew Benia, one, of course, you knew that it was that, choice of, drug of choice. So, alcohol being one. So it was like, I'm not really a drinker, but I still put drinking in there anyway, right? Because that's just what I did. So that was easier to give up, to be honest. And then even still, it's like, oh, you go to functions and this and that, or, just, I went to a game night. I was so proud of myself. Like, it's like, no, I just make sure I announced, and I knew only one, two, a few, like maybe half of the rooms, small crowd. Promise, small crowd, still in quarantine, wore my mask and everything. But I made sure I announced, early on, and not even for attention, but just to be clear, hey, the game's not. And it felt great at the end of the day to reflect on that. Like, wow, I can, do this. And again, I'm talking about drinking, something that I was never really into in the first place. But we realized that it becomes such a natural thing to reach out to, for gatherings and things like that. So when we go to smoking, which I said was my choice, I'd rather just, smoke because, and I'll be truthful. And I get it when, when we talk about, it helps clear my mind or this, and I want to correct us. It's not clearing your mind. What it is, because I'm admitting this is what I believed it did for me was it helped to give my mind a rest. It helped to put me at ease. So I don't know when it turned into being a thing of doing, and going to function. So you smoke and then go to work. No, I could never. I really was never that person. I never did that. Like of like people smoke and then study and all that. I did that once. Literally, I remember that once, and that's it. Like I did it once in like 2015. I literally remember. I remember exactly where I was and everything. And again, I'll be honest, it was a good paper and all, but okay, and I don't want anything else to be able to get, the glory, right? So to God be all the glory, right? Because he deserves it. But I definitely don't want anything else to be able to be like, oh yeah, instead of it being, Benia wrote that paper. Man, I wrote one heck of a paper. No. I mean, yes, I'm sorry. I want it to be just that versus, yep, that was when I smoked and boy, that paper. No. Ain't no smoking about to no, you're not about to be able to take no credit from old Monty Mom, not your boy. Like it's just not it. But if you knew me though, and any of the time that I smoked, so from the very first time that I ever hit a blunt to the very last time, in between there, if you ever knew me, you knew that I always picked it up and put it down on a like literally on a regular basis. Picked it up and put it down. Truthfully, and this is definitely gonna be a continuation next week. That it was because I refused to be addicted to. I would say that I refuse to be addicted to anything. Like, no, I'm not doing that. But watch out for this one. That as soon as I truly decided to put it down for good, it it became one of the hardest things that I, you know, needed to do, wanted to do, could do, had to do, however you want to put it. Like it became extremely difficult. And as I worked through that, so now I am at the place where it is down. All right. But we know for anybody that's been through a 12-step program and all of that, like anybody, anything, if you've gone off to rehab, first of all, God bless you. I honor you, I acknowledge you, and I respect you, and honor your choice for betterment for yourself, right? No matter how you got there, if you forced, whatever the case may be, if they read that little sad letter and cried, you ever watch that show? What was that show? Intervention. I kind of enjoyed that show a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. They bring that on. I might watch that all over again. But yeah, so no matter how you got there, that you made the choice, you did it, you stuck through it, you made it happen. How even for the people that tried it, might have failed at it, it is a process, is the point that I'm getting to. That as soon as I chose to say, I'm putting it down for real, just for many, many, many reasons, I'm putting it down. It became extremely hard. Like then I would, I gave myself excuses, like, okay, yeah, literally this is what I would say. So imagine how this sounds. Yeah, I've been off it, for a while. So, here's this function, or I really had a stressful day, and my brothers and them with somebody that, does or whatever. I go around them and smoke, it might as well. And then I'll be like, all right, well, I'm not putting money toward, I just might hit, something, smoke with somebody I could trust. Like, no, baby. No. You know why? I know the enemy is after your mind, right? If you ain't heard it from nobody else, you heard it from Benia. You heard it from Aunt Mimi, whoever you want to call me. Like you heard it from B, you heard it from the B mix. The enemy is after our minds. So what helped me to, get to the place of knowing that I wanted to put it down for good, including actually all three of my vices, because everything we know is mental and spiritual, right? More so everything spiritual, but like mental trickles down. And so it is something that with whatever your vice is, it is something that you are giving power to and allowing to hold something over you. You have made that choice. So the anecdote is for you to make the choice to regain that power, to release that very thing out of the grip by which it has over you, because you gave it that. So it makes me think of how the older generation, thinks about computers and thinks about, or no, not computers, I'm sorry, technology in general. So even more broad. that, they believe, and they have a point. I love to hear older people say this, actually. They'll be wrong with everything else they say. Yeah, because, I got to get my Android and get some AirPods. Like, they'll say something wild that doesn't match, but they'll, drop a jewel. And one of my favorite ones is, man made technology. Like, man created it. So, nope, let's not even talk about technology. They definitely always said this about calculators because they hated for us to use calculators, remember? And so, yes, it aids in, obviously all mathematics and just, calculating and things like that, right? Calculator, yeah. But a man, made it. Given, don't get me to talk about it, y'all. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. I am disgusting. Sorry, y'all. See, I was trying to make a good point. I just had to make myself laugh. I'm very Lord have mercy. Excuse me. My daughter, my 3-year-old, is the excuse me police. So I got to make sure I say excuse me if I don't. But so they will, talk about calculators and say like, man made it. So again, my overall way of thinking, and I'm probably getting to this another day too, is that, absolutely God, I don't care what invention it is, God whispered it somewhere and put it in somebody's heart, put it on somebody's spirit, and brought forth that fruit. Come on. But that, so about calculators that, the oldens say that, man made it. So we have control. So, they were just trying to make the point of, because I'm not about to quote them or misquote them, trying to make the point of that they, didn't want us to become dependent on a calculator. Because truth be told, as I hope that all of us know by now, that if you do not know how to correctly calculate something, mathematics or whatever the case may be, whatever you're trying to get through with that calculator, that the calculator does not help you. Think about that. So when you are in the mindset of, I need a calculator, I need help, I need this assistance, I'm dependent on it, it's not helping you. It's actually, at your fault, working towards your demise, like whatever the case may be, because you actually need to be able to calculate whatever it is you're trying to figure out without it, and then use it as an assistant. So when we talk about help, when we talk about, aiding, that, that's what help is supposed to be. It is just supposed to assist, I'm trying to not use the same phrase or term, but it's supposed to, be that sidebar, that, step over, that, next to. It's not the main course, right? It's just the side. And so when they say that it was merely about, the fact that it was man-made, so then we made it. So we were given the power to then create this thing, this tool that we have control and power and authority over, right? So do not allow this thing that you gave authority and power to then have and reverse that same power and authority and control over you. It is the same thing about your vices. You choose these vices. Everything is about choice. I don't mean to clap at y'all today. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop clapping. But you made these choices, right? To get into the very thing that you do, even if it is, taking on too much. You chose to take on too much. You choose, and continue to choose to, fornicate, have premarital sex, to drink, to the point where you're drunk and, not functioning, even to where you think you are functioning. It is still altering your mind. We need to be a people of clear minds. Okay? It is very, very, very important. It's imperative that we clear our minds. So we have to work to, overcome and be delivered from our vices. And we definitely going to continue on to this until next week, because we have to regain the power and the control over the things that control us. Why is it that during the pandemic that it was deemed essential to allow, bars to be open? Right? Think about it. That being said, y'all feel okay? Was that too much? Y'all get into it. Y'all tell me about it, right? Even with when you rewatch it and share it and all that, y'all let me know if it was too much. This has been another week of the B Mix. You already know. Always raw material, organic, uncut, for the unseen, the unheard, and the forgotten, whether it be the forgotten part of you or for the person that just does not belong, the misfit, the me. Thank you for tuning in. I love you. I love you. I love you. I mean it. Until next week, peace.